Well, hi. This is draft 2 that I'm going to start. Or maybe it'll be part 2. I don't really know. But I want to make at least one video journal entry today, and I want to learn how to make it streamlined so I don't spend forever looking at it. I do know I have a lot of issues about editing, more than editing. It's more about organizing my thoughts, and this is an ongoing issue in my life, and I think it's an important one that that I want to talk about to the world, to everybody for whom it has any sort of relevance. That, well, just as we all have our areas that we think very well in and other areas that we tend not to think well in, and frequently our blind spots and our weaknesses are linked to our strengths, because we're so strong looking that way, and we do such a good job that way, that we tend to have some blinders on, so that the things over here, over to the other side, over here, we just don't see them. We're doing okay, or we're doing good and well enough, or we're muddling through. And to the extent that the long-term impact of that kind of narrow view actually is helpful to us, great. And to the extent that it gets in our way and it sort of furthers our tendency toward not paying attention to certain things that we think are important to pay attention to, then we want to try to do something about them. I can speak most from my own particular areas of strength and weakness. Though I believe that my experience can shed light on things that are different, perhaps at the other end of the spectrum. Whereas I am very good at coming up with new ideas and making all sorts of connections, and also I'm very spontaneous. I can move on a dime. Whoa, hello, stop, and I do that literally while I'm dancing in the subway. Subway's a great dancing partner because it keeps you going, keeps you on your toes. I'm good at that. However, most of my life, all that's done for me has gotten me into trouble. Or just like hitting against barriers and not getting over them. So either being confined within just this ongoing lack of effectiveness, which is it's depressing, Anxiety provoking and depressing. And I say that just because after some years of work in therapy and then working with a psychopharmacologist, you would realize, my whole life I've been very anxious about the fact that I am not able to be effective in my communication. And so that anxiety is very tiring, and it can be depressing to be anxious all the time. All that sapping of energy that the anxiety does leaves one with a feeling of the wind out of one's sails. Especially when one has ideas and passions and thoughts that maybe transcend the current walking around in the mud here, and feeling light as a feather. That's to you, Violet. Violet is a 5-year-old girl who has a sister, Clover, who's 2, who speaks like a 6-year-old. I mean, she's unbelievable, this kid, this 2-year-old. So is Violet, who's 5, but she speaks like a high school kid. And then they have a sister who's 8, who's a beautiful, darling little girl, who can't talk. Her tongue just doesn't work. Her tongue is all, it's kind of I think it's under the general rubric of cerebral palsy. She has a particular issue called sulcus, what's it, what, the ridges on the side of our brain. We have all these large, wormy kinds of things all on the surface. I mean, our brain looks like a bunch of worms, and she has them, except they're much smaller. And it's on the outside. And since our motor cortex, the ability to control our bodies, is on either side out here, oh, she's got lots of problems. Oh, poor girl. She can't, well, lots of problems. She can't walk either. She's stuck. So I have the privilege and the honor of spending an hour with her 3 times a week. And her sisters come along. And I feel as an occupational therapist, it's my, well, I'm always looking for, what are the occupations of the people that I'm working with? Occupations being those activities, those things we do that give meaning to our lives. And everybody in that family has an occupation that is a role-based one. I mean, when we look at what occupations that people have, roles are very significant. Because it's one thing to wash dishes, to make dinner. And we could call that an occupation if we're doing it other than, I mean, like taking out the garbage it could be part of a larger occupation of feeling that, it's important to have my space clean, and I consider it it's an important thing, and nobody else around this house is gonna clean up, so I've got to clean up. That's sort of a role-based thing, but it's tied. It's not purely, oh, I've got to do it because I'm saddled with it, but rather, oh, it's important, and okay, that's what I do. I'm the one who makes sure that the garbage gets taken out or the litter gets done. Even though, my son really should do it. He's supposed to do it every day. He forgets. I forget to remind him. I see it. Oh, never mind. This parenting thing, I've been doing it for like 20 years and I'm getting tired. I'm really tired. I have 3 wonderful children, but they all hate me. Isn't it wonderful? I mean, they're teenagers, so of course they hate me. They would be sick if they didn't. They'd just be you'd wonder. I mean, those are the people who turn into serial killers, as far as I know. Not really. It's okay. You teenagers who actually love your parents, I still wonder about you, but you don't worry, you're not going to turn into serial killers. Well, unless you really like to polish off a really large bowl of Cheerios every day after day after day. I mean, that's the kind of serial killing, I guess, imagine as you crunch down on the Cheerios and going, no, 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 don't kill me, don't kill me. Oh, too late, sorry, you're dead. You were dead in the first place, who cares, How could you kill cereal? It's already dead. 9 minutes, 40 seconds, time to stop.